Just library gapminder, library tidyverse. Okay? And so select is in tidyverse, that's why it worked, because you loaded tidyverse. Okay. We'll have time to work on this too. Are you stuck about it? No good? Okay. Okay. So now, so select, that's first, right? Okay, I'll write these down. The 5 most important. Select. Next is filter. Okay, so what this means, you want to take your data and you want to change, you want to get rid of some rows, not some columns, some rows, according to a condition. Okay, so in Gapminder, there's data for different countries, GDP, population, life expectancy from all different years. Okay, what if you wanted to work with the years above or after 1980? So you could say filter, data, year greater than 1980. And then what that will do is it will drop all the years less than that. Okay? So we'll just do it. It's already written here. So just this line here. So we make a new thing, Gapminder filter. And keep in mind, so we're not using the raw Gapminder dataset now. We're using the dataset we selected, right? So we're using the dataset that we've already removed life expectancy from, and we're there. We're going to make a new object, dataset, table, called Gapminder filter. Okay? So you run this, it works, and you see now all the years are above 1980. Okay? So that's filter. And we'll have time to work on this again. So if this is all new, this will just work, then we'll work on it together. Filter. So select, keeps or gets rid of columns. Filter, gets rid of rows. You could also, just as a, you don't have to do this, but as an option, if you want to drop, if you say instead of I want to keep the years after 1980, I want to drop the years before, you can do an exclamation mark before. Oh wait, did I do this? Okay. How does it work? This? Yeah, okay, that's where it is. You just add an exclamation mark, drop the years before. That's not exactly the same boundary greater than or equal to. But it's the same. Okay? So you can always do things both ways. You can say keep them if they're this or get rid of them if they're this. Okay? You can do both. Sometimes it makes sense to do one way, sometimes another way. And I'm going to keep moving, but we'll do that again. We'll go through this slowly and you'll get it, okay? Next, mutate. I don't know why they call it this, but this is what it's called. Mutate. You use mutate to make a new column. Simple as that. Okay? It can be a column that's made up of different columns, something new that you just make up. So what we'll do, so GDP per capita, right? That's the GDP per person. So you can just calculate GDP as gross domestic product. GDP per capita times population to get the total GDP. Okay? So what we'll do, next line. So we take the filter data set that we've already made. So again, this has been selected, then we filtered it, okay? Now we're going to add a column. So if you just run this, Gapminder mutated. So we take the data, then you say the new column is this. Run. It works, and we see we have a new column. That's the total GDP of the country, right? So 3. Mutate. And we'll use these a lot in the course. So even if it's challenging now, we'll get lots of practice and you'll be professionals by the end. Now it's mostly to show. Okay? Last two, we'll do at the same time. Grouping, we'll make this bigger. And summarizing. Okay? So, you use grouping and summarizing to find maybe the average, maybe the sum of a group. Okay? So if you wanted to say, find the average GDP over the course of all the years that were measured in the data set, what you would do is you take your data set and then group it by country. So then what that says is now we're working with countries as groups, okay? And then, once you've grouped it, you can use summarize to do a function for your different groups. So we summarize the group data set, we say mean GDP, oops, I changed this, I'll change this on the slide. Wrong function, I was gonna do variance. Mean GDP, that'll work, okay? So that's what we'll do now. The next line, it's already written. So you group, then you take the group data set, and you do this. Okay? So go back to our, so Gapminder group, we group by country, then we summarize by country. Okay, actually the code's wrong, I gotta change variance to be, if you do variance, it's okay, it'll just be the variance, not the mean, but I changed my mind, I think. So, now what we see, looks like this. Okay? So you see the average GDP for the country. So I'll write those last two. Remember absolute path, bad, relative path, good. I'll write them over here. Sorry, it's backwards. I think this is too low for people in the back to see. 4. Grouped by 5. You can use American or British spelling if you want to. So like in Canada we use British spelling, it's S, but I think Z or Z also works. I don't think it works in Spanish, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's what we did. So we did 5 things to the data. We made a new data set, select, made a new data set, filter, made a new data set, mutated, right? So we did this. So we took the thing from the first, then we did the second thing to it, then we took the thing from the second, then we did the third thing to it, then we took the thing from the third, we did the fourth thing to it, we took the thing from the fourth, and we did the fifth thing to it. And that we had to do 5 separate things, right? To do these 5 things. But we don't do that. We do it all in one step with what's called the pipe. The pipe is what I showed you earlier. I actually forget what it looks like. I think it's percent sign, greater than sign, percent sign. Let me see. On my computer, it's convention 10, yeah. Percent sign. So those will be the 6. I'm sorry I'm working backwards. Hi. So, I'll just talk a bit about the pipe, how it works. So, what the pipe does is it deals with the thing is very annoying to make all those intermediate data sets. Gapminder mutated, Gapminder selected, very annoying because you just want to go from Gapminder to the end. Okay? So we use the pipe to transition the different commands and functions together in one command. Okay? If there's one thing I want you to take away from this course is be good at this. Okay? And so what the pipe does is it just puts the data in automatically as the first argument. So in the old mutate, we did mutate, data, new column, but you can take the pipe, take data, and then it's implied that you're doing the thing on that data that you've piped in. Okay, so we'll work on this together. Let's see what I have in the next slide. Okay, and so we can Now with the pipe, do all of this in one step. Okay? And so, we'll try it yourselves. I'll do this with you at the end, but just take a few minutes, try to see how it works. So what you do, you're going to take all those 5 lines of code we did before. You're going to start with the end. So the last one you made was gapminder summarized, okay? So you make the end one, gapminder summarized, assignment operator, gapminder, then you pipe it to select, then to filter, then to mutate, then to group by, then to summarize. Okay, so we'll do one step for everything. It starts like this. Gapminder summarize, gapminder, pipe. Then you start select. You'll delete the data that was there before and keep the rest. Okay? Then you'll pipe that to the next thing. Okay, so try it. So everyone put your yellow on, the amarillo. We'll work through it. So everyone, so you should end up with that same data set, the gapminder summarized data set, in one step. Okay? So start working. I'll leave you guys alone for a bit to try it, and then we'll work through it together, okay? When you get it, change to green, and then help other people. The students are working on exercise.
Oh, great. So, yeah, it looks good in the lab. We've got everything set up. I think it's actually better. But I think this is the way it's set up. It's like a sort of island table.
Oh, nice. Great.
Great. The room has one.
Nice.
There's Wi-Fi in the lab. And did you see there's already a Facebook post with pictures? I did this morning. I sent it to everybody.
You know it?
¿Cómo saco esas porcentajes?
Copia de acá.
Yeah.
¿De dónde?
Porcentaje de los copias de acá.
Wow.
Yo puse porcentaje.
¿Será el mismo símbolo?
El mayor es como el
So we'll figure out lunch between 1 and 2.
On schedule. Yeah.
Let's get it. Love you. Okay, nice. I will back.
So can you take me to lunch? We go somewhere where I can eat something?
We're hopefully going to start in the lab at 2, but then as I say, this interview, then I'll interview again. So I don't know how long it's going to take. It's going to be 2
You know what I saw today?
¿Cuántas columnas son?
Pacto con pan.
Son 5, ¿no?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that at a store on my campus. Maybe I'll get. I won't have any martes in Scala. Nothing? No meat? Just avocado and bread? Yeah. Actually good. I wasn't hungry.
Just to make you jealous, I just had some good stuff. I met Ricardo, the Brazilian guy, he's actually
There's no more? Okay, well, there's more.
No, there is he's like works in the office next to this guy, so he knows
Okay, I'll show you all. Actually, I'll let you work for a couple more minutes. Everyone keep trying. Keep trying.
see the arse.
So,
Functioning for the things you need to do. So the one slightly unexpected thing is the sequencer is a Minnow Mark 1 sim. That is the version which has a little bit of a screen, which I've never actually used before.
did you bring a mark? Did you bring
I did bring it over. So we can do it exactly to this one, you do all the recording of the data, you don't need a computer.
Ah, no es mayor, ¿no?
Well, it's
Es la historia.
Ah, las columnas son los nombres, creo. ¿No?
Sí. Sí. Son los nombres de country.
Country. Continent. Continue jar.
Okay.
Pop.
You have non-base called files.
No, the non-base called files are called
GD per cup.
If you have verde, if you have green, if you've done it, see if the people around might want help. But if not, it's okay. Okay? So Stephanie, Alex, you guys. It's the bioinformatics master students.
No me sale nada. ¿A ti te salió?
It's important not to struggle with this. Once it clicks into the neuron. Stephanie, Alex, can you see if maybe you can help other people? You got it? Yeah? If they don't want help, it's okay.
Arminda.
So we just did, took them through basically doing 5 steps separately, making it a file, making output object, then taking it manually, and then we're gonna do it, doing it all together in one step. Okay. How's it going? Still struggling?
Yes.
That's good. So one tip is after the pipe, you push enter. That's good. So does that work? So if you do delete that, does that work? Ah, typo. Gap minder. MINDER. Yeah.
Cap
Yeah, typo. That's
Okay.
good. So now run. Typo again. So capital C should be lower. So it's capital. So change to lower. No, the C. Delete, and then enter just lowercase. Yeah, good. Now go. So that's good. So now you can do the next one. So now, yeah, type the next. You got it? Have you done that before?
Aquí está. Ya.
That's pretty cool.
Aquí, por ejemplo, yo ya lo había. Tienes que hacerle un enter a. ¿Dónde está? Aquí. Ya lo habías hecho así, ¿no? Select country, continent, year of recap. Y ya, bórrale los últimos.
No solamente lo
Sí, sí. Detalle no. Perdón, la ley. ¿Qué corrió? ¿Bien? Resumen.
Just I didn't help you. Just easier.
1694 more rows, ¿no? Ya.
Suffering. Okay, so one tip, I'd say push enter there before select. So easier to read. So push enter. That's good. Okay. So let's push enter to get rid of it for now. Let's move it down. Move it down. Does the first one work? Oh, sorry. You want to do run? So So that works. Okay. So you got your first one. This one I'll just look at for a second. So this is that's good. So the little indent is good. Okay. So now you can pipe from there. So yeah. So yeah, here's pipe good. Oh sorry, that's the pipe. So the percent. Yeah. Oh no sorry. That symbol is pipe. So delete pipe. Delete the word, and you put that symbol with the percent.
O sea, copiar este símbolo.
Ah, sí. Al final de.
Claro, no, es que dijo que hay que hacer todos los pasos. Es que hay que hacer todos los pasos. Por eso te digo copiar símbolos para continuar. Ajá.
¿Cómo se llama?
O sea, por ejemplo, tenemos que hacer select, filter, rotate.
Ah, ok. De cada uno.
Ajá. O sea, todo en un comando. O sea, lo que tú hiciste fue la primera parte. Acá ya me paré, monté y no me salió. Y acá ya salió.
También ponemos country y continue, ¿no?
Sí,
O sea,
también.
copiamos.
Good? Good? Okay, there. Okay. Yeah, looking good. So the filter, that's not what should go in there. Remember the filter we do with the year over 1980. So what's inside filter, you need to change if you go up, needs to be that.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So you can check every step. You can say, is that good? Yeah. Mostly green, mostly green. And then just, yeah, then it's easier than BJ too. Yeah, there you go. So that's a good formatting for it, so you can see it, yeah. Okay. Let's go over here. Yeah, that's good, yeah. So if you want, you can always check part of it too. So if you want to just check up to the filter, so it's looking good. You're just missing the command for that one, which is number 3. Oh no, you've already got it there. Okay, so never mind. So you've got this twice. So you get that line is doubled, so you can delete that whole line. And then the pipe also can get deleted. Now, that's good. No, you don't need any more. So the last thing, that's because it's not going anywhere, you don't need that. So let's see, does it work? No, you don't have to, just anywhere you can. Okay, so one little mistake, so unexpected symbol inside. You're missing a comma. So see, there? Yeah, so to check, you can just click that, double click the get under summarized. See, double click. Oh yeah, that's good too, yeah. And then run. Yeah, good, yeah, verde. Yeah, you're welcome. Daniela, you have both green and red.
Resume, falta,
You're
¿no?
stuck
Sí, te
and
falta
you-
resumen.
Aquí está.
Ay, tienes que quitarle lo primero. Esto.
Okay.
Porque ya el
Good.
nombre
Everyone did
dice
it.
que de esa
Good job.
haga todo.
Ah, ok. O sea, le
Oh wait, sorry, no, you know, it's like, Manuel, you're close.
I mean, just
Oh, sorry.
O sea, ya está ya.
Ah, okay, yeah, you're close. Okay, never mind. 1 second. We're almost there. You're very close. Yeah, the data goes, and then the data goes. Now run. Oh, you have to be, yeah, have the cursor in the pipe. Yeah, anywhere, it's fine. Yeah. Good, and now let's look. So just, you can double click, you have under summarized. No, the summarized one.
Ah, de aquí hacia acá.
No, the first one.
Ah, bueno.
And then just run that. Let's look. Good. Okay,
Okay.
verde. Okay, good job, everyone. First pipe. So that's a very, very important programming tool in pipe. So that's how you write pipelines. You make things, starts at one place, goes to the end, goes through many things. It's very important. So you've all done it once now, at least. We'll do it a lot more, but it's important to learn, form the neurons in your brain, right? Get it working. It's really good. So good work. Okay, are you ready for something else?
Ya me lo
Okay. Now you can take the verde off, the green off is okay. So, now we'll learn about joining. Joining is when you have two data sets that you want to put together. Okay, so maybe you have the DNA sequences for all your samples, and then you have the taxonomy for all your samples. And you want to put those in the same one, so you have to join them. So joining is very common. I do it all the time. To join, you need something called an index column, meaning you have to have the same column, the same name, and the same values in both. So for example, I have here, I'll put it up. You're going to join your blue data set and your green data set. You join them by the column ID, okay? So ID and ID. So you would join them, and then they're together, okay? So you can see here, I almost always do, it's called left join. Doesn't really matter. But you can see for ID number 1, that's not in here. So X2 is not A. But for ID number 2, it's not in, or it is in here as B1, so then they get B, okay? So you join, and where you have matching information, it'll make those go together. Okay? So, what we will do, I hope this works, because this is one of the first times we've loaded data. Put the last one. Yes. Okay. So we want to see, for example, if countries with lower GDP have more diversity or less diversity of mammals. Okay, so there's not going to be any data set that exists that has that information in it already. You need to get information on mammal diversity by country and GDP. Okay, so we can use Gapminder for GDP, but we need another source for the mammal diversity. So I'll just walk through this. So we'll try to do some coding together, okay? So if you go back to barcoding course in data, you'll see there's a file called mammals_diversity.xlsx. So we want to load that in, okay? I hope this works. Okay, so we need to load a package called read Excel, which I've already installed. Do library, read Excel. If that doesn't work, it's okay, we can figure it another way. And then what we want to do, we need to load the data from our file, okay? So let's make it, what are we going to call it? Let's call it mammals diversity. Okay? Then we do that. We go read _ Excel. Then we define where the data is. So you always do tab. Tab to data, tab to mammals diversity. Then you can run. So then it loads. Okay? So we have a data set now that has the country and the species count. Originally, you have to do something a little bit more advanced now. So let me just see. You can do a quote, which is I think on your keyboard. I think it's single quote. I forget where it is. Yeah,
Okay.
and then tab. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
So make sure the path to the file has to be in the quotes, okay? And that's what makes the tab. And then tab again. You can just tab again. Just bring back there and tab. Yeah, and click the right one. Okay. Now see if it works. So run. Did this not work? Library read Excel. Did you run that? Run that first one. Okay. Now run. Again.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So we installed the package read Excel yesterday. So library read Excel, you need to run that line. That allows you to load in Excel files into R. You're in the R project? Okay, you're missing something. Can you type it? Or can you tab it? Did you type or tab? Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Tab. Go here. Did you load this? Yeah, you did. You have something covered. Yeah, so you can do the same as you do with units. You go dump out / So if you go here, period, and then / and then tab. You want to make sure it's right. So you need to go over, dump that / again. When to do twice. Yeah. / and then tab. Data. And then tab again. There you go. Tab. That over. Good. Yeah. No? Sounds good? Okay. So we'll just keep going. If everyone has the data. If not, just go to someone beside you, but should be okay. Okay, so the one thing that's really important. You can help? It's okay? Okay. So, this happens all the time. So we're gonna do one more function in R, that's new, it happens all the time. For you to do a join, the columns that you're gonna join, so in this case we're gonna join by country, they have to have the same name. So it has to be called country in dataset 1 and country in dataset 2. You can see here, this is called country/region, okay? So that will not work. So we need to make a new version where we can join. So what we need to do is we need to make sure we know what the country column is called in Gapminder. Right? So we want to join Gapminder, I'll put it lowercase because it's lowercase, Gapminder and mammals diversity by country. Okay, so if you want, you can go names, Gapminder. Okay, it's just called country, lowercase. So that's good. Names, mammals, diversity. Country/region. Okay, we don't like that. So we need to rename the column in mammals diversity. So let's call it mammals rename. We'll make a new object, mammals rename. And we'll do the pipe, why don't we pipe it? So we'll take mammals diversity that we pipe into a new function called rename. Then in rename, new name equals old name. See if this works. Good. When you're working in your data, never put spaces in the Excel. Never put spaces, because that's weird. It makes things go weird. You have to put quotes. So, up here. So now, once this is done, those will have the same name, then we can do it. So you'll need something like the quotes or other characters for the one with the space, because spaces cause problems. So you need to put that in quotes.
Reciente que lo...
The error messages are informative. So,
Estoy que lo edito. A ver, vamos a ver.
maybe try to get rid of this space. This doesn't have, this is supposed to be no space there.
Ok. Sí, ¿qué te ¿Cuál? Llegó. Te falta. Ah, ya, es el...
Ah, ya.
el simbolito así de
I
mayor.
know you're practicing on it. Let me try this. Do
Sí, ahora sí.
library,
A ver, selecciónalo por el... Juan.
I think somehow they got unloaded. Is my guess. I don't know why.
Ahí está.
Somehow your R reset. I don't know why. But that's all.
Pero aquí,
Okay.
country, region, country.
Did this work?
Ah, ya.
Here? Yeah, you run? Does that work? Yeah, it's good. That's where we are. You're good. Yeah. Maybe you were going ahead. Yeah. Okay. So now we'll do the join. Okay. So we want to make a data set that has the information from the Gapminder data set, GDP and country, and NEMs. Okay. One thing I was going to do, but I'm not going to do today. Some of the country names are actually spelled different in the two data sets, so you can fix those. I'm not going to do that just because. So we'll lose a few countries. It's okay. So let's do make a new data set. GDP, mammals, join. This. And then what we'll do is the following. So I like there's many ways to join as I showed you. I like using left join. Then what you do, first data set, Gapminder, second data set, mammals renamed. Then you need to tell the function what column you're going to do the join by. Okay? It actually will guess on its own, but let's be precise. So you go by equals country. And then run. So if it doesn't work, maybe you spelled country differently in the two data sets. So that should go just like it did for me. And you can see what you should have if you look at, or you head up the data set. You have all the information from Gapminder, plus you have the mammal species count as another column, right? So now you put these two together. Yeah, good, good. Good work. Because you are using the one that you already changed. So mammal reading has been changed already. So now they match. Yeah, good, good, good. Okay. Okay, so the last thing we'll do before almuerzo is we'll start to make figures, okay? Plots. So most people now who do like data science and things, they make figures in R, and most people use something called ggplot. Stands for Grammar of Graphics, GG. And the reason is it's just very easy. If you change your data, you can make the plots update automatically. It's very nice. So sometimes when I have a paper, if I get new data, all my figures update on their own, and they automatically go in the paper. I don't have to change anything. So it's very nice. So what we'll do is we'll make a plot of the data just for the year 2007, and we'll see, do the countries with lower GDP per capita have more or less mammal diversity? Okay? So, ggplot. So first, I've got this line here, so we'll do. Oh, I changed it a bit. Okay, so you have to get the name that you made here, GDP mammals join, and just put this in here, filter. So it has to be the right data set. I changed the name, sorry about that. So we make a data set, just 2007, so we filter. Okay. Just as a review, if you want, same thing as this. Okay. Get minor join, pipe, filter, year equals 2007. Okay. Those two ways are the same. This and this are the same. Usually, just don't do pipe for one step. Okay. So once you have your data, or your data bit ready, you use ggplot. We'll do more of this later. The way it works with ggplot, you call the function ggplot. You have to specify data goes in. Then you add what's called aesthetic layers or aesthetics, where you specify the variables that will be the same throughout the whole plot. So that's why I've got here AES. X-axis is this. Y-axis is this. Because we're not changing anything, you don't do a pipe. You add things to it. So this on its own, and you add layers of graphics. Okay. So what we'll do is we define what data we're using, then we add a layer of points. Those are called geomes. So geome point. Okay, we'll do all sorts of different ones. So you can do this and run this, and it should pop up here. Okay. So what you can see now is you have pretty clearly, with maybe one or two exceptions, all the countries with the most mammals have the lowest GDP. Right? You can see. So what we did, and that's for just 2007. If we didn't filter, it'd just be messy. But you needed to join the two data sets to make that. You can also, so the way you build these plots, you say this, okay, that's the basic. Then you add things to them to make them nicer. So if you want to make this plot nicer, you go plus. Let's add a theme. I like this theme, it's called theme BW, so black and white theme. Theme underscore BW. I don't remember if you need brackets. Yeah, you need brackets. Okay, so. And see? So you add the theme, and it changes the theme of the graph. Okay? So now I went from this, ugly, to this stuff, yeah. What if you don't like the color of the points? You can change here in the point. So let's say, so if you wanted to change the color of the points, there's a couple ways to do it. You can just change it in the point layer. So let's have some fun. Everybody think of your favorite color and let's see if it exists. So it has to be in English, I think. So you write color equals, my favorite color is tomato. That's my favorite color. And it works. My other favorite color is this. Light sea green. Oh, it's also a color. You can see it's a color because it turns into the color. Wow. I like those two. Okay. What about corn silk blue? Oh, corn silk. Too light. Brown. Right? So you can play around, you can change the colors. If you wanted to change the color according to something else, maybe continent, so you want one continent to be one color, another one to be another color, can't do it here because that changes the whole thing. What you would do, so let's delete this, the color you have here. In the aesthetic layer at the top, And again, we'll review this a lot. This is kind of advanced, but we'll review this a lot. I'm just sort of showing you what you can do. You say you want the color to equal continent, which is the variable. And then you just add color equals continent. And then you can see it works like this. Gives you a layer so you can see, okay, Asia here, Americas, probably Brazil, Peru's probably here somewhere, right? So it's pretty cool. So this is very flexible. You can make plots look however you want. Maybe you want to put all of them in different graphs. You can add, I've got this at the bottom already written. Facet, graph, continent, scales is free. Then that looks bad like this, but you can zoom in. So I'm going to make a different plot for every continent, right? A million ways you can do it. So you can see here, okay, yep, different countries, Oceania, yep. So when you're making your plots for the project at the end, you can use this, and you can make them however you want. Anything else you want to do there? Let's see if there's anything else. So you'll have more time to work with this later, okay? Okay, before lunch, this is optional, but maybe challenging for people who want a little bit level of a challenge. You can do this with mutate. What you want to do is, so you want to use the original Gapminder data set, okay, the original one. So everyone switch to yellow on your computer. If you just want to go for lunch, you can, but it's good to learn. Okay, so original Gapminder data set, so none of the ones we've already made. See if you can find which country had the biggest decrease in per capita GDP from one year to the next, or the biggest increase, okay? So what the function you're gonna do looks like this. Mutate, make a new column, GDP difference, and you need to use the function lag, which means take the one above. So it's going to go from, it's going to say, okay, 2007, let's take from the one above, 2004. And these are in 4-year periods, so it'll compare like 2007 and 2002. Okay? And then filter the data to have just the biggest, or just the smallest, or if you can, both. Biggest and smallest. Okay? So work on that. When you get it, okay, I'll give you a hint. The biggest and the smallest is the same country. Okay? So see if you, that's how you know you got it right. Okay? The biggest increase and the biggest decrease is the same country. When you get it, you can switch to green. Do you know what country it is? The oil country is oil boom and bust. You should use the pipe probably, but you don't need to. That's the last one. So I'm gonna have to come here in the afternoon. I want to make sure that that tools and connect our can work on these computers. But I'll come over there for the first little bit.
For the star.
Yeah.
Take some pictures and stuff.
Yep. Yep. A lot better today now that-
So one is 319. So it's something to look for. It's basically.
Why do we have to change?
There's another professor and assistant working in that lab today. And they gave out information.
It's not like it's just blind process. Okay.
Yeah, so
cubo. Es mutate, ¿no?
Okay. So is the error columns in Y, which is this once you put it in data. So you see these tables. So change it there, lower, then run, then run. So that's why it's the case. Okay. Just the original, just like, yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, you don't need this one here. Only need two.
GDP per cápita no lo encuentra, dicen,
No,
¿no?
no está.
Yeah, it's looking good in the right way. So here's a little trick to show everybody. So if you go here to the console and you type view with a capital V, it's a little so just type in the keyword view, VIEW. Yeah, that's good too, yeah. And then you put the data in the brackets, the name of your data. Yeah, and then run. So this allows you to sort of look at it like Excel. Then you can click there and sort if you want. So you can click and put the name of the GDP data. Yeah, so you can do this the smallest, and that's the biggest. So that's one way to do it. So I think though you can try to filter to yeah. So yeah. See if you can filter to the biggest and the smallest. That's the additional trick. Over here. So yeah, range good. How'd you figure that out? That's good. You know what you're doing. Small to biggest. Yeah. Yeah. So they were doing really good, but really bad. Yeah, so that's good. Yeah. So you get very good. I think it's the oil. They like. Kuwait. It's in the Middle East. Oil and so they have a lot of oil and they stop making oil. Gulf War. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Probably was like it was the Gulf War. So you can get there. You're good. Okay, since we want to go for lunch, let's see what time it is. What time is it? Okay, I'll show you a little trick in R. I show you one of you. So we go, we make our new data set. Let's call it biggest difference is Gapminder. Then we go mutate. Then we just take what I did already, which is here. Oh, wait, this. So this will give you the value, right? So this works. But it's hard to tell what the biggest and smallest is. So the quick way to do it is you go like this. And then you can work almost like Excel. So you type view, capital V. You can view your data like this and run. Then you can go to your columns like this. You can sort. Okay, so you can click the different columns. What's the biggest, what's the smallest, like this. So you can click your new column. So the biggest change, minus $50,000 per person, was Kuwait. I guess a Gulf War or something Fernando was saying? Then if you want to the biggest change was $85,000 per person. Also, Kuwait, same country. So sometimes they go crazy really good, and sometimes really bad. If you want to just filter the data so you don't have to look, then you use the function we used earlier, filter. You can do it in a couple ways. You can say GDP difference. If you want to say GDP difference is exactly equal to, meaning you want to filter to the exact condition, you go equals max. That's what base is. This is in one way. So then you can see, okay, what the heck? I don't know why that didn't work. I don't know why that didn't work. I'll have to think about that. Oh, because there's NAs. There we go. So drop NAs. The max of something with NAs is NA. So max filter is this. Min is this. Or you can take both. It should work. Min or max. Oh, that didn't work. It means this one. I would have to figure that out. Or max. Or and max. I don't know. I have to figure that one out. I would Google it like everybody does. But that's the basic. That's the basic. So just so you know, like 6 equals 7. 7 equals 6. What that does is it doesn't assign it. It asks, is it equal to? So 7 equals 6. Not true. True. So that's the double equal sign means. So yeah. So if I was like when I'm trying to remember how to do stuff, I would just ask ChatGPT, how do I filter this to keep both the max and the minimum? And I would just have to learn that way. Maybe it's this. This may also not work though. Yeah, okay, that works. So, see, just figure it out eventually. Oftentimes, even people who are good programmers, what they try first doesn't work. And what they try second doesn't work. Third doesn't work. But eventually, you get it. So, today, just to recap, we learned I think, 5 most important functions in the tidyverse or dplyr. We learned how to chain those together with a pipe. You all did it, which is really good. And then we learned about joining, putting data sets together based on index columns, and then a little bit of plotting, and then some more advanced stuff. So that's it for here for today. After lunch, Robin, the room is?
Yeah, the room is 319. I think we're going to meet here first after lunch.
Oh, we are?
And then we'll, yeah. Or do you think, does everybody know where room 319 is? What is, okay, it's on the outside.
So it's just upstairs from where we were yesterday, in the lab.
Es en el laboratorio 319 del pabellón de investigación, de laboratorio de ecología molecular y de biología.
Okay. Yeah, if everybody knows where that is, then we'll just meet over there. Just to warn you that the hope is we can start at 2, but those people want to do another interview with us, and they said around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what they said, right?
Yeah, so the question is, should we delay or not? I don't know. What do you think? If we could say like 2:15.
Maybe we should say gather there at 2:15, and hopefully we're there, but if we're not there, just, I don't know, occupy yourselves until we're there.
Yeah. So 2:15, okay?
2:15.
319
Yeah.
across the way. Okay? Good job, everyone. You did some challenging steps, but it was good. Okay. Yeah. If anyone has questions for me about, more advanced things based on what I taught, I'm very happy to answer. Okay, so that's all we'll do for today in the class program, but I'm happy to talk more if you want to learn more. We'll do more tomorrow though.
¿Cómo hiciste para hacer el límite?